Starting us off at number 10 are the ancient Egyptians, arguably my favorite ancient civilization, maybe tied with the Greeks and the Romans. I mean, they had the femme fatale Cleopatra as their leader, so hello girl power. Their pyramids were a feat in and of themselves. They worshipped cats like I would fit right in there. Now, the ancient Egyptian civilization existed between 3150 BC and 30 BC and is one of the oldest civilizations on this list. They functioned as a series of stable kingdoms before Upper and Lower Egypt became unified. Achievement-wise, I think we look to Egypt for a lot of art, culture, and other societal advancements. Their irrigation systems were before their time, they practiced effective medicine, they even made the earliest known peace treaty, but the one achievement the world is still truly amazed by are their construction techniques. The pyramids and the Sphinx are freaking incredible. I've never seen them in real life, but I really want to. But it's widely believed that the pyramids were made by moving huge stones to the location and lifting them into place. But skeptics believe it was aliens that built the pyramids because how on earth can an ancient civilization accomplish an architectural feat like that? Yeah, aliens could have come and built them, or the ancient Egyptians could have been aliens themselves.
Moving on to number 9, we have the Lightning Man. Roy Cleveland Sullivan was a well-known forest ranger in Virginia for one reason. He had an attraction to lightning. Over his years, he had been struck by lightning 7 times. 7. And every time, he has been pretty much left uninjured. How is that even possible unless he's not a human? So the first time he got struck was in 1942. He was completely fine, he just lost a nail off of his big toe. Then 27 years later he got struck again. The only thing that happened to him this time was he lost the hair on his eyebrows. Then in 1970 he was struck again. His only injury was a small burn on his left shoulder. In 1972 it happened again and his hair was set on fire. So on and so on. So first off, why does lightning seem to be attracted to him? And 2, how has he managed to survive every strike? Well, there are a couple of theories out there. One is that maybe he's an alien. Maybe his alien buddies from space keep zapping him with their space lasers trying to get him to come back home. And that's why he's never killed. He's not even human at all. He's an alien.
At number 8, we have the Indus Valley Civilization. This famous civilization existed between 3300 BC and 1900 BC and was located in current-day northeast Afghanistan, Pakistan, and northwest India. This one is one of the oldest on the list. It's like in the top 3 along with Egypt and Mesopotamia. At the time, it was the biggest civilization since it spread over 1.25 million kilometers, and since the people were settled around the Indus River basin, they had a good source of food and water. I can't say this one is ancient because unlike the others on this list that ended, this one is still going. It was mostly farming settlements in 4000 BC, but by 2600 BC there were a ton of cities built everywhere. In fact, it often had the best scientific achievements out of all the civilizations, and they were arguably the most prosperous out of all of them. They were known for their extensive urban planning, drainage systems, non-residential buildings, handicrafts, and more. Like, these mans have commercial buildings out here, like why? Shouldn't you be trying to figure out how to create fire? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Prehistoric rock paintings found in Tirama show humans wearing what look like modern spacesuits and drawings of UFOs. Now, why would they be there unless a civilization had seen these things or come into contact with them already? Perhaps they came from them. Filling our number 7 slot is the Incan civilization, and me and producer Chris really don't know if it's Incan or Incan, so yeah. We had that back and forth. Guys, I'm just gonna switch it up throughout the paragraph. Whatever comes to me instinctually is just gonna come to me, you know what I mean? Also known as current day Peru, Ecuador, and Chile. The Incan civilization spanned between 1438 AD and 1533 AD, and its empire was the largest South American empire because it truly flourished in every way. It was well established, they transformed the capital from a village to a city shaped like a puma. They were an expansionist civilization that assimilated other cultures into theirs quite seamlessly, and that's something we have trouble doing even now. The Incans' military, trade, and fishing were highly advanced, but again, the most impressive feature about them was their architecture, making things like Machu Picchu and the city of Cusco. Machu Picchu is a citadel located on top of a 7,940-foot mountain range and was initially built as a royal estate for an emperor. They made the whole thing on fractured rocks and somehow used local materials to bind them together and fit, which is pretty impressive. Their road system was also very well made, so it begs the question, did they have extraterrestrial help? Are they extraterrestrials themselves? We don't know. Now at number 6 is the Aztec civilization. Now it's only fitting we talk about the Aztecs right after the Incans, since they were emerging around the same time the Incans were really establishing themselves. The Aztec civilization was located where current day Mexico is during 1345 AD to 1521 AD. Ironically, at the end of the 1200s, the civilization was actually made up of 3 rivaling cities. We have Texcoco, Tlacopan, and Tenochtitlan. Guys, slow clap for me for pronouncing those. Good for me. Now 125 years later, the people of these cities banded together and created a new state which arose to prominence as the Mayans fell. Tenochtitlan was the military hub of the Aztec civilization and was the place which decided what the next conquest would be. Their reach even spread to places like Guatemala and Chiapas. The Spanish came in the 1500s, bringing about the decline of the Aztecs, but that wasn't before they made their mark. They built incredible temples, their art was unmatched, and their construction techniques were also on point. But nothing super alien-y. Now let's jump forward to 1947 and the Roswell UFO incident. What if the ancient Aztecs were aliens and left Earth after the Spanish conquered them? Maybe they finally decided to return hundreds of years later, but the attempt backfired. Why Roswell of all places? Coming in at number 5 is the Persian civilization. Honestly, anytime I hear the word Persia, my mind immediately goes to the Prince of Persia game because I played it so much when I was younger. Anyway, the Persian civilization existed between 550 BC and 331 BC, and it was located where modern day Iran is, which I feel like is a bit of a no-brainer. Now, once upon a time, this civilization was actually the most powerful one in the world and took over 2 million square miles of land. At their peak, they controlled Egypt and all of Central Asia. They expanded so freaking quickly in the space of 200 years, which is really nothing, but it's not their empire and military might that impresses me, it's their architecture and art. I absolutely love all Persian architecture. They're so intricate, colorful, and you can just feel how culturally rich they are. A lot of complex instruments, music, and dances originated from there, and I mean their rugs are basically in every person's household. My house back home has 18 Persian rugs, like what even is that? What even is that? Iran, it seems to be a place where UFOs have tended to lean towards. In 1976, there was a radar and visual sighting of a UFO over Tehran, but anytime aircraft tried to get near it, there would be electromagnetic interference. Then, a few years later, thousands of people saw what looked like a UFO in the sky. Then the same thing happened again in 2003, and there's so many more instances. Why are all these UFOs just attracted to Iran? Do they have ties? And number 4 is the civilization of Atlantis, parentheses, question mark, parentheses. Not the luxury hotel resort and water park, the underwater lost kingdom. Now Plato first mentioned Atlantis in 360 BC, and it was meant to be an insanely powerful kingdom with technology more advanced than ours and an unmatchable navy. Fast forward around 9600 BC, a terrible disaster hits and the island sank into the sea, never to be seen again. Many teams have tried to find Atlantis over the years, notably a man called Simcha Jacobovici, who dove into the Marianas Trench. All he found was 6 Bronze Age stone anchors near Spain, which seemed to have come from a civilization existing 4,000 years ago, which was way off. But many people believe because their technology was so advanced, they found a way to disappear to us but still exist by themselves. Perhaps they cracked the code to living completely underwater and invisible as humans, and that's what they've been doing since 9600 BC, who knows? Plato never clarified how advanced was. Many people also believe an underwater tomb belonging to one of Atlantis' early leaders is the entrance to the hidden kingdom. But all this seems far beyond the capability of any civilization, no matter how advanced they are. Doesn't seem too far-fetched for an alien civilization though, and maybe the entrance to the underwater tomb can only be opened by one of them. Maybe they fled Atlantis and hid it because they were going to return to it one day. Filling our number 3 slot is the Maya civilization. Now I thought it was Mayan as well, but apparently in modern day society we call it Maya. Maybe wrongly famous for making everyone think the world was going to end in 2012, this civilization existed between 2600 BC and 900 AD, and it was located in parts of current-day Mexico and Central/South America. They peaked at around 2600 BC and had a population of 19 million people, which was insane. By 700 BC, they had created their own writing system, which they then used to make solar calendars. In terms of art, any Maya art is exclusively to do with their elite population. The society specialized in craft craft, which is why their architecture is as amazing as it is. It was estimated back then that it would take 67 days for men to build a commoner's hut, but around 10,686 days to build an elite person's residence. But the urban city of Tikal would have taken millions of man days, which begs the question of how did they do it? I'm guessing they had help. There are also tombs located under some of their structures which haven't been opened yet, which has me thinking that whoever locked them will come back for their contents one day. Now at number 2 is the Mesopotamian civilization. Known as the first civilization in the world, it existed from 3500 BC to 500 BC and it was located in present-day Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. Sumerian was the earliest language and they were surprisingly modern when it came to gender roles. Both men and women had to learn how to read and write, which I mean slow clap to you, we went really backwards after that before we finally got back to that path. Art existed way before Mesopotamia, but that's because it was part of human culture, not civilization. They refined it and formalized it and made art a thing. They excelled at maths too, using a sexagesimal numeral system, aka with a base of 60. That's why an hour has 60 minutes, a day has 24 hours, and a circle is 360 degrees. Facts. Mesopotamians even figured out how to control flooding, store water, make glass and lamps, make weapons, and they created the initial laws of the world and the Code of Hammurabi. As the first of their type, I think that's pretty noteworthy. On the other hand, they also believed the earth was a flat disc, but I feel like we can just sweep that under the rug. You know, they achieved a lot more. We can just you know, believers think that aliens were on the earth before humans, and if that's the case, what if the first civilization was all them, helping us get a head start in this difficult world that we call life? Maybe they're not as bad as we think. And finally, at number 1 are the ancient Romans. Honestly, such a brutal era, but also one of my top 3 favorites for sure. Dubbed as the most powerful ancient civilization, the Roman civilization existed between 550 BC and 465 AD, and isn't known for one thing, but many. It went from being an elective monarchy to a democratic republic to a military dictatorship. Like, the Romans have really been through it all. They controlled 5 million square kilometers of land, which had 20% of the world's population in it at the time. The ancient Romans inspired modern republics like France, and the aqueduct and road systems were state of the art for the time. The Romans had some of the greatest emperors in history: Julius Caesar, Augustus, Octavian, and more. Now, as great as they were equally brutal as well. And since their history is so vast and goes so far back, they've had their fair share of alien-related sightings. In 218 BC, philosopher Titus Livius saw a number of gleaming ships in the sky, and it was 218 BC, you guys. You bet your airplanes or satellites weren't even an idea at that time. In 76 BC, Pliny the Elder saw a spark from a falling star. It grew as it ascended till it looked like it was the size of the moon before ascending back up into the sky and to the heavens. That's 2 instances out of the many that I found. So why were aliens trying to communicate with the Romans so bad? Were there people among them?
Starting off this countdown, we have Tom Cruise. Of course, I'm sure you know that Tom Cruise is a huge figure with the Church of Scientology, probably its most famous member. Well, there's a freaking legend or theory, I don't even know what to call it, that Tom Cruise is half alien or full alien, and that's why the church bows down to him. According to the Washington Post, Scientologists believe that Xenu once expelled humans to Earth from another planet, and their disembodied spirits live in everyone. So it seems that Tom Cruise might be part alien. Plus, it's also been rumored that Cruise built an alien bunker at his estate in Colorado. Why? Maybe out of fear that the aliens will come after him or something, I don't know. Plus, this dude does some daring stunts in Mission Impossible that I don't think any normal human would agree to. Just saying. Coming in at number 9, we have Will Smith. Now, I personally love Will Smith, but there's a whole theory out there that Will Smith is an alien. For starters, he doesn't age, and plus he's perfect, like a little too perfect. Let's not forget about the Men in Black movies about a bunch of secret aliens. Now, people would be like, why would an alien star in an alien movie? It's the perfect disguise, like hiding in plain sight. It's pretty genius if you ask me. Coming in at number 8, we have Christopher Walken. That's my impression of Christopher Walken. Now, I'm not the person to judge a book by its cover, but Christopher Walken is on this list because people think that he just looks like an alien. Which, I mean, we can't just go call odd-looking people aliens. Anyways, besides his appearance, Walken is a pretty versatile actor. He plays different characters with ease. Maybe because he's had years of practice pretending to be a human. I don't know, man. Maybe he's an alien, maybe he's not. In our 7th spot today, we have Adam Driver. Now this seems like another silly one, cause it is. But on Reddit, people were posting about celebrities who they think are aliens, and someone had this to say, and I quote, "Adam Driver is an alien. He looks like an alien trying to look human." And that is the funniest thing I have ever heard in my entire life, and now I can't unsee it, so there you go. In our 6th spot today, we have Miley Cyrus. I don't know if you all know this, but Miley Cyrus apparently had a really creepy alien encounter. Back in October of 2020, Cyrus did an interview in which she claimed she was chased down by a UFO. Seems pretty suspicious, right? Like, why would an alien chase down Miley Cyrus? Unless she's an alien herself, or the alien was just a really big fan of hers. According to Miley Cyrus, she was driving through San Bernardino with her friend when she got chased by this UFO. It had a big plow on the front of it, and it was glowing yellow. And then apparently she went into space or something like that. I didn't quite understand. But she said, and I quote, "I did see a being sitting in front of the flying object. It looked at me and we made eye contact, and I think that's what really shook me, looking into the eyes of something that I couldn't quite wrap my head around." So fans think that Miley Cyrus is an alien. Maybe her memory was wiped when she came down to Earth, and now they're coming back for her. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Benedict Cumberbatch. Another person that straight up just looks like an alien. I had to say it, I'm sorry. Or an alien trying to disguise himself as human. For starters, he straight up has piercing blue eyes that will make you uncomfortable when you look into them for too long. And again, he's a very versatile actor. Did you see him playing Smaug in Lord of the Rings doing his whole motion cap thing? Like, the dude was on the floor all hunched over. He really embodied the character. Kind of like a shape-shifting alien. I don't know, man. He is either an alien or a lizard person. In our 4th spot, we have Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is incredible. Can we all just give him a round of applause right now? Like, this dude is an amazing actor, singer, and most importantly, stunt performer. The stunts he does in his films are out of this world. Maybe literally, if he's an alien. But also, on a number of occasions, he has dislocated things and broken bones, etc. Yet, he still manages to heal super fast and get back up and continue to work. How does he manage to do this? Maybe it's because he's an alien. He's got no weakness. He falls down and dusts himself off, and then he's good to go again. For example, his most brutal injury was on the set of Armor of God. During one of the scenes, he fell straight onto his back and his head smashed on a rock. As a result, a piece of bone got wedged in his brain. He began bleeding internally, and he was super close to dying. But he got up and kept going. Any normal person would have been like, hell no, I'm not doing that again. But not Jackie, because he's an alien. In our 3rd spot, we have Elvis. Now this one took me by surprise, but there's a whole bunch of people that believe that Elvis is an alien. And actually, he faked his death. Why? Well, obviously humans can't live forever and he needed to go back to his home planet. But he misses Earth, so he comes back to visit every so often. And that's why people have claimed to have seen him. The first sighting was right after his death. They saw a man headed to Memphis airport that looked exactly like Elvis. The man purchased a one-way ticket to Argentina under the name John Burroughs, which was the alias Elvis used when booking hotels. Not only that, but on December 31st, 1977, a photo surfaced of what appeared to be Elvis sitting in Mike Joseph's pool house. And there have been many, many more sightings since. So maybe he's a frickin' alien. He just comes and goes to Earth as he pleases. In our 2nd spot today, we have the Queen of England. Queen Elizabeth II is another individual who people truly believe is an alien. For starters, this woman is 95 years old and is going strong. She seriously does not look 95 at all. It's not only her though. People think a lot of the members of the royal family are aliens or lizard people. Conspiracy theorist David Icke believes this and has proof to back it up. So he said, and I quote, "I have traveled and been to 50 countries to research it. It took the form of meeting people who tell of experiences of seeing people, often in positions of power, change from human form to a reptilian form and back again in front of their eyes. Not only that, but obviously back in the day, those reptilian alien people were worshipped and considered gods. The royals may have gotten their start as royalty because of their ancestors being these alien people. Plus, why are they obsessed with inbreeding among the royals? Okay, it's to keep the alienness within the family. And in our number one spot today, we have Donald Trump. There's actually so much evidence as to why Donald Trump is an alien that it's scary. I could do a whole video on that alone, but I gotta keep it brief for today's video. For starters, why would Donald Trump want to be president? I don't know, maybe to find out what the government knows about his own alien kind, or even to get more alien people in powerful positions. Not only that, but there's proof that Trump is a time traveler. As we know, aliens are advanced species. Chances are they know how to travel through time with their high-tech crafts. I've mentioned this before, but there's a book out there from the 1890s called The Last President. And it's a book literally about Donald Trump. It's about an unlikely presidential candidate that won the election. Sound familiar? Even freakier, the book talks about the Fifth Avenue Hotel. The address of the hotel in the book is the exact address where Trump's tower currently stands. But wait, there's more. There's a character named Laugh Pence in the book. You know, like the vice president, well, ex-vice president Mike Pence. Either the book was written about him or the aliens used the book as inspiration as to who they could disguise themselves as, you know, like use this as Donald Trump's backstory. I don't know, man. Maybe he's an alien.
A new UFO sighting took place tonight. This footage was filmed in the USA. Thermal analysis shows what could be a smaller ship flying around, and a much larger mothership behind it. Save and share this video before it's too late.
Oh my god, that is so scary. Also, why do they have to say save and share this video before it's too late? That just creeps me out. Don't say things like that. Like that and the music, it just makes me think that it's the end of the world. That looked like an alien ship and the whole lightning and spooky atmosphere is not helping. Oh no, the aliens are coming. We gotta prepare. We need a secret underground bunker. Shut up, don't say that, Chris. I know, but don't scare me.
A 30-second video from Jharkhand is going viral all over the internet. In the video, a strange, eerie-looking human figure can be seen strolling down the road. The video was apparently recorded on the Chadwa Dam Bridge in the Hazaribagh district by some bikers. Seeing that, some are saying that it is an alien and some are claiming it to be a ghost. After the appearance, there has been a war on the social media sites among the people to determine the exact type of supernatural being that the creature is.
Maybe it's a ghost alien. Maybe it's a ghost and an alien, a ghost alien. Why is it so creepy? Like it's so lanky and weird. But at the same time, I feel like aliens are more stealthy than that, you know? Like I feel like it wouldn't just be walking like, oh, da, 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 hey yo, what's up, you know? Like just for everyone to see. They've been stealthy and hiding themselves for years, potentially. On Earth, so why would they just reveal themselves now? It doesn't really make sense. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's just not a good alien. Maybe that's what it is. But it's really creepy. Like legs were so skinny. Like that did not look like a human. That looked like a creature of some sort. Ugh. Also, alien, if you're watching this video, just kidding. You're beautiful. Love you.
I got it. Oh my gosh. Oh.
What the hell? That strange light in the sky is one of 1,100 UFO sightings in Canada last year. According to the annual survey released by Ufology Research of Manitoba, there are at least 3 such sightings in the country every day.
UFO reports are still a thing. People are reporting them in greater and greater numbers every year.
I'm never going to BC. It's beautiful there, and I was like, I want to go this summer. Yeah, 3 sightings of UFOs per day. Yeah, that's where they're hiding. They're hiding in the wilderness there. Them and the Bigfoot, they're just hiding there together. Or maybe that was Bigfoot roaming through the forest shining his flashlight. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's not even an alien after all. Maybe it's Bigfoot. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today we are looking at the top 10 real alien encounters caught on camera, and it's pretty spooky so far. And if you guys believe in aliens, then make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Also comment something down below, because I like to read your comments. With that being said, let's dive on into the video.
Just about 4:45 and take a look at this viral video from La Junta in southeastern Colorado. All right, Vivian Gomez wrote on Facebook that her security camera captured this on Sunday morning. There are people on Facebook who say it looks like Dobby from Harry Potter, or a ghost or an alien, or a kid in flip-flops and underwear.
Maybe that. Maybe it's a kid in flip-flops and underwear, like na 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 na. I can't see an alien doing the chicken dance. It has to be a kid. Come on. But also, it does look like Dobby. It's not Dobby. Dobby. I feel like she said it weird. Anyways, it does look like Dobby from Harry Potter. That is a house elf for sure, okay? He was like, Harry Potter must not come to Hogwarts. Bad Dobby, bad Dobby. And then that was him leaving after the cake got. If you know Harry Potter, then you know. What the hell is that? Ew. Oh, I literally got the shills. I literally got the chills watching that. Like, this alien was trying to be stealthy and hide behind some tombstones, but it wasn't working. Look at its head. That is massive. That's a massive alien head. That is terrifying. That's like the creature from Predator. I'm sorry. I don't like that thing at all. That cemetery needs to be burned down. No, just no.
Why does it look like that? I don't get it. I mean, why does it look like that? I mean, it doesn't look like a plane, it looks like a saucer. I just don't get it. Can someone help me figure this one out? I mean, if you think that looks like a plane, I just don't get it. I'm looking at it carefully. And of course, you know, I'm driving in the middle of traffic. I'm trying to get as close as I can to it. And I just cannot figure out what the hell I'm looking at.
That is for sure UFO. Like, that literally looks like a spacecraft. Either that, or it's Ron and Harry going to Hogwarts in their flying car. That's also what it looks like. Man, we got the freaking house elf, and now we got, like, this is just confirmation that Hogwarts is real. Hogwarts is real, man. Yo, wizard Harry. Yo, wizard Lindsay. I wish I was. Cadabra. Lindsay Porter. Oh my. That is an alien. That's an alien. Either that or someone is really good at special effects and has a really expensive alien costume. Because it doesn't really make sense to me. Wouldn't an alien like be like, oh snap, there's a human, or something, and make them forget? You know, like the Men in Black, how they have the little flashy light. I feel like an alien just like points at you and then you forget that you saw an alien. Wouldn't you think, like, this is just too casual, him just, oh hey, what's up? Yeah, you can videotape me. Make sure you get this angle. Yeah, I'll just do my slow model walk. You know, like, it doesn't make sense to me. Also, this alien looks like the one from Scooby-Doo. It's with the green humanoid head. It's Scooby-Doo. Anyway.
Check out this video from one of our viewers, Mash Hatai. He said he woke up at about 2:30 this morning, get a drink of water, and this is what he saw in the sky. Certainly caught his eye. He took the video from Kaka'ako and thinks the lights were over Central or West Oahu, hard to tell from his vantage point. As you can see, the two bright lights, and then slowly a third light appears. Hatai believes he saw about 8 to 10 of the lights total.
What the hell? Guys, aliens might be real, and it's scary to say that out loud. How else do you explain this? Like, also let me know in the comments below if you've ever had a creepy alien encounter, because now I want to know. Let me know in the comments below.
Something is in the sky. What is that?
This video was taken by Misitina Sape at 8:26 Tuesday night near Haleakala Avenue in Nanakuli. Not long after, a woman named Mariah spotted the same thing passing over Princess Kahanu Estates.
I looked up, and then I was like, oh, started calling my husband them because we was all in the garage. I was like, hey, look up there. See what I see. They all said, yeah.
The 38-year-old says she's never really been a believer in UFOs, but the bright blue object had them so intrigued they jumped in the car and started following it.
I don't know what it was. This one was going so fast.
The journey ended less than 3 miles from where it began, on Farrington Highway in front of the Board of Water Supply building, after the object appeared to drop into the ocean.
Oh my god, do the aliens live in the ocean? Like, was it just returning home? Maybe that's why we haven't found them, because they store their spacecraft underwater in the depths in Mariana's Trench. Love that band. But like, in the depths down there, that's where the aliens are hiding, where we can't go. Wow. Maybe that's where they are. Also, they are brave for following this. They're like, yeah, let's just get in the car and follow this potential UFO that could kill us. Yeah, let's just do it. Typical Tuesday.
Now it is darkened outside. Temperatures are sitting at 61 in Buffalo. We have a northerly wind at 7. Good sleeping weather tonight, folks. What was that? Did anybody see that thing go past? Did we just see a shooting star? Good sleeping weather tonight, folks. What was that? Did anybody see that thing?
Nothing impressive compared to the other ones. That was probably just a shooting star. This guy was just trying to hype it up. He's like, how can I make the news more interesting? Whoa, did everyone see that? No, that wasn't a piece of my dandruff flying by the screen. It was actually UFO. So, I'm famous now. I caught it on camera.
The Pentagon has confirmed a strange and unexpected sight captured by Navy personnel off the coast of California. The video shows flying pyramid-shaped objects hovering above the USS Russell and another warship.
It was leaked by filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. He's also shared 3 images from the USS Omaha showing an unknown spherical craft. The Pentagon has confirmed its unidentified aerial phenomena task force, what a task force that is examining the footage.
That guy got really into the story. I think he believes in aliens. He's like, spherical crafts, yeah, aliens. That's literally what he sounded like. The Pentagon revealed that like it was a UFO. But UFO is technically unidentified flying object, so it doesn't mean that it's an ET, it just means that they don't know what the hell it was, which makes me feel better. So maybe it's not aliens, maybe it's just like a drone. I don't know. I'm scared.
Navy pilots say they saw something that defies the limits of known aviation technology. My God. They've been popping up around our national security facilities and baffling veteran military personnel.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
And civilians, including commercial airline pilots, are also seeing it.
We just had something go right over the top of us.
Here's a rendering of what an American Airlines pilot reported.
I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top.
Okay, that scares me for a number of reasons. Number one, they said that there was a whole bunch of them flying in the sky. Hello? Are aliens trying to invade Earth now? Like, why can't we just live side by side in peace? Like, what happened to we come in peace? Like, come on, be a good alien. Number two, what if it's like another country spy? Like, I read about this. It could be another country spying on us through these craft type things. I don't know, either way it's spooky and I'm scared.
An unidentified aerial phenomena dropped down on the Florida coast. First thing in the morning we drove to the beach to find it. This is what we saw when we got there. We tried to get closer but the officers on the beach saw us. When we got home this man was at our house. For days we have seen suspicious vehicles in front of our place. If anyone knows what we should do, please let us know.
You need to move, that's what you should do. A UFO literally crashed down on the beach by your house. That's time to pack up and leave, okay? And literally they're describing like the Men in Black coming there and like, oh, so you see anything suspicious lately? Any ETs, UFOs? Let me know. That is scary, seriously. Pack up and get the heck out of there. Again, wait, hold up. I think I just put 2 and 2 together. I think I just solved this whole alien thing. Again, it crashed down by water. What if this UFO was trying to enter the water? Like I said before, aliens actually live deep down below in the ocean. Again, this kind of proves it. So, just saying. Just saying. Starting off this countdown, we have Spring-Heeled Jack. Was Spring-Heeled Jack a mere legend to scare kids and adults, or was he actually a real person? You decide. So back in Victorian England, they had to worry about this terrifying man that would visit homes in the middle of the night. This man would ring the doorbell, and when someone would answer it, he would attack them. He was given the name Spring-Heeled Jack, as witnesses said he had the ability to jump great distances and heights. Victims say he looked like a man dressed in red shoes and armor. Others claim he would wear loose-fitting black clothes with a helmet. He was also described as having a wicked smile. The very first sighting of Spring-Heeled Jack was in October of 1837. A woman named Mary Stevens was walking in her town when a tall man in a coat jumped down from a building right in front of her. He then attacked her and even tried to kiss her. Kinda weird. Someone heard her screams of terror and thankfully came to her rescue. They both saw Jack leap away. After this, more and more women fell victim to Jack. One in fact described him as wearing a very tight-fitted outfit that resembled white oilskin. Well, what if it wasn't an outfit he was wearing, but that was his cold, pale alien skin? This, along with the fact that he could leap and jump high and far distances, is what led people to believe Jack might have been an alien.
Coming in at number 9 are the ancient Greeks, and boy did I love learning about them too. We had this Roman Greek day in my primary school, so my mum made me a cute toga and stuff for me to wear, and not gonna lie, I was the most fashionable person in year 5 that day. No cap. It's the truth. Now, the ancient Greek civilization existed from 2700 BC to 479 BC and was the epicenter of many things we still do today, most notably the Olympics and the concept of democracy. The Parthenon, their sculptures, they laid the foundations for modern physics, geometry, and biology. They had people like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Archimedes, thinkers and philosophers we still quote a lot today. Now, how is it possible that this civilization had so many great minds and ideas? Isn't the common belief that the older the civilization, the more almost backward and clueless they were? That's not true from any angle with the Greeks, which makes me think about aliens. We've always believed their intelligence is way more advanced than ours, and so what if the ancient Greek civilization was speckles with some aliens that gave them the ideas that humans needed in order to progress forward? Did they help us? Dramatic gasp.
In our 8th spot today we have Akhenaten, and if you guys are liking this video so far, then smash that like button. It's believed that Pharaoh Akhenaten was not only in contact with aliens that were controlling him, but that maybe he was an alien himself. Now, if you look at the way he was depicted in ancient Egyptian drawings, it was different than all the other pharaohs and gods. They were often depicted as majestic gods, you know, they were good looking and they were muscular. Akhenaten is drawn the opposite. He's drawn with an elongated face and head, a long neck, small ribs, and a protruding belly. Why would they draw him like this? It must have been an accurate depiction of what he actually looked like, or else that's just insulting. The main fact that people were fixated on though was his elongated skull. Yes, back in the day some cultures would reshape their heads and faces, but they aren't able to add density to their heads. Akhenaten had a disproportionately large head that could not have been created by skull reshaping. So a number of people believe that Akhenaten was an alien, and he was sent down to rule ancient Egypt. Coming in at number 7 we have Osiris. The depictions of Osiris were always quite unusual because he was drawn with green skin. As a result, people think that he's out of this world. What else has green skin? Aliens. For starters, Osiris was the god of the underworld. He was a symbol of death and resurrection. As a result, he was depicted as a mummified bearded king holding a shepherd's crook and whip. According to a famous legend, he was actually killed by his brother, who tore his body into 14 pieces. But in the end, he was resurrected by his wife. Now, if this story is true and not an actual myth, isn't it suspicious that a man with green skin died and then magically came back to life? As a result, a number of people believe that he was indeed an alien. In our 6th spot today we have Nina Kulagina. Nina Kulagina was famous in the 1960s for having psychic powers. She had the powers of telekinesis, so she could move objects using her mind. On a number of occasions, she demonstrated her powers in front of people. She would place an object on the table and would be able to move it from one end to another. Obviously you had skeptics, so every time she performed this trick, she was carefully observed. She was able to move matches, small boxes, and cigarettes. Even the Russian military got involved and would study her. In the end, she was actually recruited by the Soviet government to work for them. So how could it be that this woman had these powers? Maybe it's because she's an alien. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with George Gurdjieff. George was a 20th century mystic and philosopher. He was known for teaching something known as the fourth way. Basically, he believed that humans had a way to become more elite, that we just needed to awaken to a higher state of consciousness, and then we would be able to achieve full human potential. So the fourth way taught his disciples all about this. He talked about how we need to free our soul and increase and focus our intention to prevent absent-mindedness. From there, we would be a step closer to becoming a more elite form of humans. Now, what's eerie is that he never talked about the origins of his teachings. He wanted it all to be discreet. In fact, there are no traces of the schools he even went to. So what's the deal with this guy? Was he an alien trying to help humans advance or what? Moving on to number 4, we have Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was a great, intelligent, and super talented artist and inventor. In fact, some believe that he was a little too intelligent for his time. So they believe he was an alien that was sent to Earth from space to help humans advance. For example, he proposed many modern day inventions in the late 1400s. That's hundreds of years before they were actually created. He came up with the idea of a tank, helicopters, submarines, self-propelled carts, aka cars, and machine guns. Maybe he already knew all about these inventions because aliens, being the advanced species that they are, already created them. Da Vinci's goal was then to share his insight on these inventions with the world. The only question is, why would the aliens want to help us? Coming in at number 3, we have Amelia Earhart. Amelia was a well-known American aviator who set numerous flying records. She is one of the most well-known explorers, and her disappearance has caused ongoing wonder. In 1937, Amelia set out with her navigator, Fred Noonan, to fly around the world. They were last heard from on July 2nd, 1937. 2 years later, she was declared dead. However, they never found her body. They just assumed that their plane crashed somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Nonetheless, they still spent 15 years looking for the pair. In fact, searching for Earhart was the largest and most expensive search in American history. Now, there's this absolutely wild theory out there that Amelia and Fred were both aliens, and they actually set out on this mission with no intentions of ever coming back. They actually needed to get back to their home planet, which is why their plane or bodies have never been found to this day. In our second spot today, we have the magical healer. John D. Reese of Ohio was known for having the touch of God. Just by touching people, he had the power to heal a number of injuries and maladies. It all started in 1887. One of his friends fell off of a ladder and seriously injured his spine. His physician took a look at it and declared he had a severe spinal strain, but it was miraculously cured one day when Reese, for some reason, ran his fingers up and down the man's back. Instantaneously, the man's pain was gone and he was able to get up and move around no problem. Another person he healed was a shortstop of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He suffered a bad back injury mid-game and actually had to be carried out from the field. Again, John ran his fingers up and down his spine and he was magically cured. He also cured a politician's weak hand and wrist from overuse. Doctors told him he needed to rest his hand for weeks to get the strength back, but John touched his hand and it was instantly better. So this dude must have been an alien with magical powers or something, because how else could he cure people in an instant? And in our number 1 spot today, we have Count of Saint Germain. This guy is undeniably one of the most mysterious men in history. So Saint Germain was a philosopher that apparently had the ability to teleport, levitate, and walk through walls. Not only that, he's said to be immortal. Apparently he discovered the secret of alchemy and created an elixir that would grant eternal life to whoever drank it. Now, we don't know much about him. Some people say he was born in the 1690s, whereas other people believe he was around during the birth of Jesus. One thing that's certain, he has appeared a number of times throughout history when he should have been dead. For example, it was 1760 and Saint Germain was invited for a soiree at the home of Madame de Pompadour, the mistress of King Louis XV of France. Now the Countess was shocked when she met him because he looked exactly the same, which was impossible because she met the Count in 1710 in Venice. When she met him, he was 45 years old. He shouldn't have been alive, but there he was and he had not aged a day. She was totally in shock by this, as anyone would be. Over the next 40 years, Saint Germain traveled all throughout Europe and never aged a day. Most recently, in 1972, a man named Richard Chanfray claimed that he was the one and only Count. He even went on to turn lead into gold on a camp stove to prove he was this legendary Count with magical powers. So due to the fact that this dude has magical powers and never ages and seems to be immortal, people believe that he is in fact an alien.